like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Schlerman Academy for today's CBA game between the 2-0 first place, two-time defending champion Fort Wayne Flite, taking on the host team, the Illinois Coal Miners, in their second year in the Central Basketball Association. The Coal Miners are 1-2 on the season. Of course, it was just a week ago when Illinois picked up its first win of the season against the visiting Baltimore Shuckers, 117-103. In that game, Illinois was led by Denzel Smith, who was 11 of 19 from the field, had 28 points in that game. Aaron Worthington was 2 points behind him with 26 points. Illinois had 5 players score in double digits. Tiger O'Neal added 10 points, Davis Johnson with 12, and Alex Brown had 15 as the Coal Miners picked up the 117-103 victory over Baltimore. Illinois is 1-2 on the season. Their first game of the season was at the Fort Wayne Flite. That was back on March the 25th, with the Flite winning it 127-87. The Flite outscoring Illinois 40-9 in the third quarter en route to the big opening victory, 127-87. In that game, Fort Wayne was led by Antonio Cannon, former CBA MVP. Cannon had 24 points. Joining him was Trevante Wilson with 24. Flite had double-digit scoring from Lance Williams Jr. with 11 points. Kendon Lewis had 13. Trevor Lucas had 17. And Terrence Beasley chipped in 10 points for your Fort Wayne Flite. Antonio Wilson was just 2 points away from a double-double as he had 13 rebounds to go with his 8 points. Fort Wayne Flite now 2-0 on the season. After that victory a week later, they took on the Baltimore Shuckers and won it 120-100 over Baltimore. Baltimore was led by Terry Hosley, who had 24 points. The Flite were led by Terrence Beasley, who was 9 of 14 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Terrence had 25 points. Right behind him was Trevor Lucas with 18. Antonio Cannon had 16. Nick Gamble with 11 in his first game with the Flite, and Widener Joseph had 11 as well. Widener Joseph, Antonio Wilson, Antonio Cannon. These are 3 players that have been with Coach Rod Wilmot and owner Benny Lewis from the get-go, as the Fort Wayne Flite now are the face of the CBA with their back-to-back CBA championships. Rod Wilmot winning Coach of the Year in 2016. League champion was Fort Wayne. The runner-up was Middle Tennessee. In 2017, your Coach of the Year was Philip Washington from Indianapolis. Indianapolis was the league runner-up. Fort Wayne Flite taking the championships, but it was the Blaze who entered the tournament as the #1 seed. Fort Wayne Flite getting back Greg Foster for their tournament run and ended up winning the championship over the Indianapolis Blaze. Of course, the Blaze got their first game under their belt this past Saturday after being snowed out in the first week. The Blaze are now 1-0 on the season as they took down Illinois last Saturday, 125-116. The Blaze outscored the Coal Miners 40-19 in the fourth quarter for the comeback win. Looking at the CBA top players from a week ago, Anthony White Jr. from Indianapolis scored 34 points and had 3 steals in that game against Illinois. He was your top performer. Of course, 4 years ago, Anthony White Jr. led a comeback victory for the number 14 seed Mercer University over number 3 seed Duke University in the first round of the 2014 NC2A tournament. So that was just 4 years ago, and now Anthony White Jr. getting it done for the Indianapolis Blaze. Aaron Worthington from Illinois had 19 points, 17 rebounds. That's a big-time double-double. He had 4 assists, and that was in that game against Indianapolis. Worthington's performance a day earlier against Baltimore was the number 3 rated performance from this past weekend. He had 26 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Denzel Smith from Illinois had 26 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 blocks at Indianapolis. Antonio Cannon from the Flite comes in at number 5. He had 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. Antonio Cannon just 4 assists away from a triple-double here in CBA play. So those are your top 5 players from this past weekend. Looking at the standings, the Flite once again in first place with a 2-0 record. Jackson, the Jackson, Mississippi Eagles, Indianapolis Blaze, Middle Tennessee Storm out of Nashville, the Memphis Rail Runners. Well, excuse me, it's the Jackson, Indianapolis, and Middle Tennessee, all with 1-0 records, currently in second place in the CBA. The Memphis Rail Runners in 5th place with a 1-1 record. Illinois in 6th place with a 1-2 record. Bowling Green in 7th place, 0-1. And the Baltimore Shuckers starting their season on the road, 0-3. They are 2.5 games back of first place. In this game, we'll feature 2 of the top scorers in the CBA in Antonio Cannon, who's averaging 20 points per game, and Denzel Smith, who's averaging 22 points a game for Illinois. Denzel is averaging 7.3 rebounds per game, 5 turnovers per game, 2 assists, 1.3 steals, 2.7 blocks, 1.7 fouls. He's shooting 44% from the field, hitting 25 of 57. He's 8 of 24 from beyond the arc, shooting 33%, and has hit 8 of 13 free throws, shooting 62% from the free throw line. Illinois has Widget Washington, Aaron Worthington, and Matt Neville all averaging double-digit scoring, 19, 17, and 15 points respectively. And Kendall Davis averaging 13 points per game. So 5 players for Illinois averaging double-digit scoring. Flite once again led by Antonio Cannon, averaging 20 points per game. Cannon shooting 37% from the field, hitting 14 of 38. Folks, we're getting ready for the starting lineups here, so we're going to send it to our PA announcer.
And gentlemen, remove your caps as we get under our country with the national anthem. Performing tonight is Danville's Kelly Steele.
Absolutely beautiful national anthem there sang by the Danville community as we're getting ready for the starting lineups.
And Charlotte Academy for tonight's Central Basketball Association game between the Fort Wayne Flite and your Illinois Coal Miners. Let's meet the starters for Fort Wayne. At forward, 6'6" from West Florida, number 11, Terrence Beasley. At guard, 5'11" from Indiana Tech, number 1, Antonio Cannon. At guard, 6'4" from Lincoln Memorial, number 8, Edgar Joseph. At guard, 16 from Anderson University, number 10, Trevor Lucas. And at center, 6'8" from Glen Oaks Community College, number 12, Antonio Wilson. The head coach of the Fort Wayne Flite is Rod Wilmot. And now for your Illinois Coal Miners. At forward is 6'8" from Wayne State, number 2, Aaron Worthington. At forward, 6'7" from McMurray College, number 9, Davius Johnson. At forward, 6'7" from Tarleton State, number 10, Denzel Smith. At guard, 6'8" from Central Missouri, number 3, Widget Washington. And at the other guard position, 6'2" from Benedict Springfield, number 8, Tiger O'Neill. The head coach of your Coal Miners is Chris Bell. Tonight's officials are Kevin Kokenauer, Nathan Howie, and Dane Severino.
There we have it, folks. Starting lineups for today's CBA matchup. Once again, the coach for the Illinois Coal Miners is Christopher Bell in his second season, and the coach for your Fort Wayne Flite is Rod Wilmot. Coach Wilmot, the coach of the year during the 2006 season, back-to-back CBA championships under his belt, and he's now an assistant coach at Manchester College for the Spartans in Manchester, Indiana. In the circle, it's going to be Big T Antonio Wilson for the Fort Wayne Flite. He wears number 12. And for the Illinois Coal Miners, looks like it's going to be number 9, Davis Johnson, to tip it off here. In Danville, Illinois, we're at the Schlerman Academy. As possession will go with Illinois to start off this game. Down low, that's number 10, Denzel Smith, off glass. Bucket is good as Illinois takes the first lead of the game. Smith, once again entering today, averaging 22 points per, which leads the Coal Miners. Terrence Beasley, one-on-one. Got Smith up in the air. Beasley off glass. Gets the bucket and one. Will head to the free throw line looking for the three-point play.
That was on number 10, Denzel Smith, his first, team's first.
So for Smith, that's his first and the team's first. Beasley on the season shooting 88% from the free throw line. Hitting 7 of 8. Make it 8 of 9 now for Terrence Beasley. Flite up 3-2. 9:22 left to play in the first quarter. We play 4 10-minute quarters here in FIBA rules. That ball is taken away. Smith with his second bucket of the game. Illinois takes back the lead at 4-3. Widener Joseph being guarded by Aaron Worthington, one of the top players for Illinois. And that's number 10, Trevor Lucas, for the Fort Wayne Flite. Lucas finds Antonio Cannon now in the far wing. Beasley with the pick and roll being guarded. Widget Washington with the defense on Cannon. We got a turnover going to be called on the Flite. Possession arrow in favor of Fort Wayne. Quick catch and shoot. Shot off the mark for Smith. Putback attempts no good as well. Second putback try is good for Worthington. Illinois now up 6-3. Lucas with a strong take. Another turnover for your Fort Wayne Flite. 6-3 is your score with the home team on top. The Illinois Coal Miners in their second season here in the Central Basketball Association. Bringing the ball up is Widget Washington. Washington is out of the University of Central Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. Shot off the mark, rebounded by Lucas. Cannon finds Lucas in the corner. Lucas was able to get Tiger O'Neal off his feet. Beasley is going to be bumped by number 10, Denzel Smith. He'll pick up his second foul. Just 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the first quarter.
Number 10, Denzel Smith, his second foul.
With the inbounds pass will be number 1, Antonio Cannon. Played his college ball at Indiana Tech with the Warriors in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Tech making it to the NAIA National Tournament this year before getting knocked out by the Marion University Knights out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Smith has had the ball a lot for the Coal Miners to start this game. Gets the feed back and goes off glass. Denzel Smith now with 6 out of the 8 points for Illinois. Coal Miners now up by 5. Remember, this was a big-time victory for the Fort Wayne Flite the first time around. Flite won it by 40 points, 127-87. Now the foul is going to be called on number 12, Antonio Wilson. That'll be his first, team's first. Denzel Smith coming out of the game for Illinois. Checking in for Fort Wayne will be Lance Williams in for Lucas.
Lance Williams Jr. He'll replace number 10,
Delando Carter in for Illinois. He wears number 7. Bringing the ball up, that's Widget Washington. Washington with a wraparound pass. And Big T Wilson going to be called with the bump. So that's the second foul for Antonio Wilson. Antonio Wilson from Glen Oaks Community College. Played his high school ball at Fort Wayne Elmhurst and at Fort Wayne Northside after Elmhurst closed their doors. He's 25 years old, goes 6'8", 240 pounds. Kendon Lewis now into the game for Antonio Wilson. Nice steals. Terrence Beasley got a hand on it. Lance Williams has it knocked away from him by number 9, Davis Johnson. Possession will stay with Fort Wayne. 7:01 left to play here in the first quarter. 8-3 is your score. That'll be Kendon Lewis with the inbounds pass. He's a University of St. Francis graduate out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Kendon played his high school ball at Fort Wayne High School. Inbounds goes to Beasley. Beasley, left-handed take, went up with the right hand, had it blocked. Wider Joseph getting the rebound. He too was blocked. Picking up the loose ball was Worthington. 3-point attempt, up and in for number 8, Tiger O'Neal. His first bucket of the game extends the Illinois' lead to 8 points. Cannon being guarded by Worthington, now double teamed, and Worthington steals it. Off glass, too strong. Kendon Lewis comes down with the rebound. Lewis, nice. Crossover in the lane as he was able to hang in the air for 2. His first 2 of the game. That ends a long drought for the Fort Wayne Flite, currently down 11-5. As you can see, Kendon Lewis with a lot of speed. Charge was called by Widget Washington, so that's his first foul and the team's third. Denzel Smith currently with 2 fouls for Illinois. Antonio Wilson with 2 fouls for Fort Wayne. Cannon picked up by Washington. Beasley has it swiped away by Davis Johnson. 2-on-1 Lance Williams is able to get a hand on it. Davis Johnson now extends that lead for Illinois. That's the first bucket of the game for Johnson. 3-point attempts off the mark, rebounded by Washington. That was Ronald Lucas with the 3-point attempt. He wears number 5. Terrence Beasley going to be called with the foul as Widget Washington will head to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Fouls on Fort Wayne, number 11, Terrence Beasley. His first foul, the second on Fort Wayne.
So Widget Washington entering today averaging 19 points per game. He's 9 of 11 from the charity stripe, hitting 82% of his free throws. 13-5 is your score with 5:47 left to play. First free throw is up and in. For number 3, Widget Washington. 6 foot, 170 pounds. Second one's no good, rebounded by Kendon Lewis. Lewis weaving his way through the defense. Bounce pass goes to Cannon, finds Williams Jr. out of the corner for 3. So Lance Williams gets his first bucket of the game. It's a big one, a 3-pointer to pull the Flite within 6. Slow start here in the first quarter for both these teams. And traveling going to be called on number 9, Davis Johnson. Turnover for the Coal Miners. 5:22 left here in the first quarter. Nice looking crowd here at the Schlerman Academy. Our side of the bleachers, the only bleachers pulled out is obviously you can see the batting cages in the background. But we are near capacity on this side of the gym. Cannon. Antonio has yet to score in this game. Leads Fort Wayne, averaging 20 points per game. Skip pass was taken away by Cannon. Nice outlet to Kendon Lewis, who goes up strong with the left hand. Lewis with his second bucket of the game. Flite pull within 4, 14-10 is your score. Here in the CBA, this is the only game scheduled for the night. Tomorrow, CBA action, Indianapolis Blaze traveling to Baltimore. Memphis traveling to Middle Tennessee. Bowling Green going to Jackson, Mississippi. On Sunday here in the CBA, Jackson traveling to Bowling Green and Middle Tennessee to take on the Memphis Rail Runners. 3-point attempt off the heel, rebounded by Cannon. That was Carter with the miss. Antonio with the right hand gets his first 2 points of the game. Just like that, the Flite pull within 2, now down 14-12. Worthington being guarded by Cannon. Right hand dribble drive forced through the baseline, and last touch by the Fort Wayne Flite. We have 8 seconds on the shot clock. Here in the FIBA, we play 10-minute quarters. There's 2 minutes between quarters, 15-minute halftime, as Matt Neville gets his first 2 points of the game. That'll squash the Illinois drought. 3-pointer is good. Elijah Wilson Thomas with the triple to pull Fort Wayne within 1. From the elbow, the jumper, no good, rebounded. Well, actually, that was Davis Johnson who ripped it away from Cannon. Davis now with 4 points in this game. 18-15 is your score. 3:42 left to play in the first quarter. Lance Williams misses on the 3-point. Then he's going to pick up the foul there as Widget Washington had his hands around the ball. So for Williams, his first, that'll be the team's third. Antonio Cannon going to check out of the game for the Fort Wayne Flite. Alex Brown in for the Coal Miners, number 14. Brown, one of the taller players on the team at 7 foot, 210 pounds from San Jose State University. He's from Mount Vernon, Illinois. I don't know about 7 feet, but he's one of the taller players on the floor. So the bucket's good by Delando Carter. His first 2 of the game. Illinois up by 5, 20-15. That's number 4, Nick Gamble for the Fort Wayne Flite. Gamble from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Homestead High School is his school. The three-pointer is good for Wilson Thomas. His second three-pointer of the game. That'll pull Fort Wayne to within 2. Carter. And charge going to be called on number 7, Delando Carter. Goes on number 14, Alex Brown.
Calls on the coal miners, number 14, Alex Brown.
Brown, that'll be his first and the team's 4th. Scoreboard currently reads 3 fouls for the coal miners. I believe Denzel Smith picked up 2 quick in this game as he's been on the bench for a second. Handoff goes to Lance Williams Jr. So with the inbounds pass is going to be number 7, Carter. Getting into Widget Washington. Washington looking to go straight to the cup. Misses, but the putback attempt is good by Aaron Worthington. Worthington now with 4 points in this game. Coal Miners up 22-18. Be Kendon Lewis to inbound it. Nick Gamble over the timeline. Hands it off to Ronald Lucas. Brown with the defense on Lucas as he rises up from deep. Halfway down, pops out. That was rebounded by Worthington. Carter. Down low to Brown. Brown catch and goes straight to the cup. He's fouled. We'll look for the and 1. Strong move there by Alex Brown.
Basket is good. Fouls on Fort Wayne, number 5, Ronald Lucas III.
As you see, Brown catches it, goes straight to the cup. Hard to stop that as he is listed at 7 feet. Brown, the and 1 is good. Coal Miners up 25-18 over the Fort Wayne Flite. Lucas, nice job getting through the defense. He's fouled. We'll look for the and 1. Lucas, that's his first bucket of the game.
Second foul on the 13th foul on Illinois.
Lucas entering today. This is his first free throw attempt on the season. He's averaging 8 points per game. Ronald Lucas now shooting 100% from the free throw line. Once again, check out the strong right hand dribble drive. Switches to the left. Splits defenders. Left hand off glass for Ronald Lucas. 25-21 is your score. 1:58 left to play in the first quarter. Washington kicks out into the corners. Number 11, Kendall Davis, misses. Rebound by number 9, Davis Johnson. Putback attempts no good. Johnson's going to go to shoot 2. Davis currently with 4 points in this game. Johnson's hit 6 of 9 free throws entering today, shooting 67% from the free throw line.
That's the first on Lewis, number 5 on the Flite. At the line for the coal miners will be Davius Johnson.
Fouls called on Kendon Lewis, his first, team's 5th. As a first free throw attempt is no good for Johnson. Second attempt, this one rims in. Johnson now with 5 points. Illinois up 26-21. Gamble over the timeline. Gamble played at the same high school as Caleb Swanigan. That shot's off the mark by Wilson Thomas, who hit his first 2 3-pointers that he took in this one. Widget Washington kicks out. That was Matt Neville. Misses on the attempt. Floater in the lane. No good. Neville's got it for the coal miners. Nice strong take by Widget Washington. His first bucket of the game. 7-point advantage now for the coal miners. Gamble, stutter step. Elbow jumper's no good. Rebounded by Delando Carter. Davis. Johnson, nice bounce pass. Jump stop in the lane for Washington. It's good. Back-to-back buckets for Widget Washington has his team up by 9, 30-21. 38 seconds left. Lucas out to Lance Williams Jr. Slips on the baseline drive. He stepped out of bounds. That's a turnover for the Flite. 24-second shot clocks here in FIBA rules. Entering the game is Marcus Myers, number 5. (30-21). It's about an 8-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Game clock at 24 seconds. 14 seconds now on the shot clock. Marcus Myers newly inserted into this game. Neville, long three-point attempt, and it's good. Matt Neville now with 5 points. 7 seconds. Gamble, 5 seconds. Launches the three-pointer, and it's good. So Nick Gamble is able to answer. Still heading into the second quarter. It's going to be the Coal Miners up 33-24. Take a little bit of a break here from the Schlerman Academy. This is Central Basketball Association, week number 3. Fort Wayne Flite at the Illinois Coal Miners out of Danville, Illinois.
Birthing centers with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone, or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, one website, SummitCitySports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Schlerman Academy. First quarter scoring. Neville had 5 points. Worthington with 4 points. Washington with 4 points. Carter with 2. O'Neill with 3. Johnson with 5. Smith with 6. Alex Brown with 3 for the Coal Miners. The Flite, Cannon had 2, Williams with 3, Lewis with 4, Gamble with 3, Lucas with 3, Wilson Thomas had 6, and Terrence Beasley had 3 points for the Fort Wayne Flite, as we are now in the second quarter. Shot just left short. Possession arrow now in favor of the Coal Miners. 3-point attempt, another one left short. That was Davis Johnson with the rebound. Putback is good for Davis Johnson. Now with 7 points. That's a game high for Davis Johnson. 35-24, an 11-point advantage here for these Illinois Coal Miners. Terrence Beasley going to check in for Kenan Lewis and Wadner Joseph in for Nick Gamble. Here in the start of the second quarter, we are 38 seconds in. With the inbounds pass will be Ronald Lucas for the Flite. Lucas quick over to Wilson Thomas off the mark. And charging going to be called. They're going to say Kendall Davis through the elbow. That's his first and the team's first here in the second quarter. Fouls do reset after every quarter. And you go straight to the double bonus once you hit 5. Technical foul equals 1 shot plus a possession. 2 technical fouls equals an ejection plus a next game suspension. All fouls. Oh, nice feed to Terrence Beasley off the mark. Joseph going after the rebound, has it, and loose ball. We're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Coal Miners. So the Flite will get the next possession. With the inbounds pass will be Kendall Davis. Kendall Davis averaging 9 points per game while shooting 37% from the field on 7 of 19 shooting. Neville can't hit the triple. Wilson Thomas looking to go coast to coast, and charge going to be caught on Wilson Thomas. Elijah Wilson Thomas in his first year with the Fort Wayne Flite. He's out of Earlham College. He's from Columbia, South Carolina, with the charge. So all fouls except offensive equal team fouls. After 4 team fouls, we're in the bonus. Coach technical fouls are not team fouls, and overtime carries fourth quarter team fouls. Those are the FIBA rules. Johnson just inside the arc, halfway down, no good. Excuse me, that was Delando Carter. Ronald Lucas with the Getty up, kicks back. Widener Joseph all alone, top of the key, three-pointer, no good. Neville with the board. Nice bounce pass. And being able to corral that ball is Marcus Myers for his first bucket of the game. That'll extend the Coal Miner lead to 13 points. We got 8 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Williams Jr. off the mark with the rebound was Kendall Davis. Davis picked up by Lucas, gets right past him. Nice ball movement on the perimeter. Carter, no good. Joseph with the board. Widener Joseph, a fixture for the Fort Wayne Flite. Entering today, Widener is averaging 3.5 rebounds per game.
Trevor Lucas.
On the block, that was Trevor Lucas with the bucket, his first 2 points of the game. Myers being guarded by Lucas. Left hand take, swatted from behind, but a foul going to be called on Lucas. Looks like he may have rolled an ankle as well, as he's holding his left ankle. For Lucas, that'll be his first foul and the team's first. Myers looks like he hurt an ankle as well.
Fouls on Fort Wayne, number 10, Trevor Lucas.
It's again a great crowd here at the Schlerman Academy.
First foul on Lucas, first team foul.
Performing the national anthem tonight was Danville's Kelly Steele. An outstanding rendition. So we got a timeout called by the Coal Miners.
Got a timeout, Coal Miners. Tonight's music is
in the first half, you start with 2 fouls.
DJ Nasty has been providing musical.
So currently Illinois with 1 left. Fort Wayne with 2 fouls left, or excuse me, 2 timeouts left here in the second quarter.
After tonight's game, the Illinois Coal Miners will be available for autographs and pictures at the south end of the gym.
So the Coal Miners with
appreciate your support.
We got a packed gym here for the Coal Miners, but they're going to be giving out autographs, and you can get your picture taken with your favorite Illinois coal miner. So for the Fort Wayne Flite, after tonight, they'll take a week off. Next Saturday, the Flite will host these coal miners. And then on Sunday, the Flite will travel to the Indianapolis Blaze. What a rivalry between Fort Wayne and Indianapolis. By far the 2 best teams in the CBA a year ago. Both teams making it to the finals here in Danville before the Flite took home their back-to-back championships. Looking at the coal miners, next Friday they will travel, or they will host, excuse me, the Blaze. That will be their 3rd home game, their second to last home game of the season, as Myers' first free throw attempt is no good. Myers entering today 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Myers is now 1 of 3. Second attempt is good. Myers now with 3 points in this game. Illinois up 38-26. 12-point advantage with 7:20 left to play in the second quarter. Antonio Cannon with 2 points so far in this game, averaging 20 points per game. Nice strong take by Terrence Beasley off glass for 2. Beasley, his first bucket in the second quarter. He now has 5 points in this game. Cannon was your 2015 CBA Most Valuable Player. Foul goes against Aaron Worthington.
His second foul.
For Worthington, that's his second foul in the game. Currently, the Flite with 1 team foul, 0 for Danville. Offensive fouls do not count against team fouls here in the FIBA rules. Lucas has Cannon up top. Joseph to set the pick. Joseph now at the free throw line as Lucas has it on the far wing. Straight to the cup. Up and under is good for Ronald Lucas. Beautiful looking play there for Lucas III. Pulls Fort Wayne Flite within 8. Lucas now with 5 points in this game as Washington got caught up going between the legs, and behind the back pass was stolen by number 9 Davis Johnson. His outlet pass ends up in the hands of number 11 Kendall Davis, and it falls. What a sequence we had there. Coal Miners up by 10. Kendall Davis, his first 2 points of the game. Cannon working off that pick by Beasley as he sank down to the block. Cannon easily gets the deuce off the floater. Cannon now with 4 points. That pass nearly stolen by Ronald Lucas. 3-point attempt is good. So Kendall Davis with 5 points, all coming in the second quarter for the Illinois Coal Miners. Wilder Joseph got his man up in the air. Beasley finds Lucas wide open for 3. Ronald Lucas knocks it down. Lucas, his first 3-pointer of the game, he's got 6 points. Nice skip in the lane for Washington, but couldn't hit. And now the alley-oop to Beasley. And they're going to say it was last touch by Beasley, who looked to be out of bounds. Beasley, just his momentum taking him too far underneath the cup, had to throw it off a Coal Miner. But as Beasley went OB, he was the last one to touch it. 43-35, 5:08 left to play in the second quarter. Bringing it up is Widget Washington, being guarded by Elijah Wilson Thomas out of Earlham College, out of Indiana. D3 school, pulling up, top of the key, 3-pointer is good by Tiger O'Neal, his second 3-pointer of the game. Illinois now up by 11. 46-35 is your score. Lucas finds Cannon on the far wing. Cannon being double teamed. And they're going to say Cannon stepped on the sideline. Once again, possession arrow in favor of Fort Wayne. 4:33 left to play before halftime. We're 36 minutes into this game. Fast-paced first half here between the Illinois Coal Miners and the Fort Wayne Flite. Washington over to Davis Johnson. Excuse me, that was Tiger O'Neal. Floater no good by Aaron Worthington. Possession looks like it's going to stay with Illinois. I take that back. Foul's going to go against Aaron Worthington. That'll be his third. And it's Cannon over the timeline. 4:08 left to play here in the second quarter. Wilder Joseph with the rebound. Putback attempt. No good. Joseph with another offensive board. Finds Cannon. Cannon pulls up from 12 feet. Rebounded by Denzel Smith. Denzel Smith started this game on fire. He had the first 6 points for the Coal Miners. But then when he picked up his second foul, fadeaway jumper's no good. he had to sit the bench for the majority of the first quarter. Another turnover by the Fort Wayne Flite. They had a lot in this game. Lob pass intended for Smith, off the mark, but he's fouled. Foul's going to go on Wadner Joseph.
Foul is on Fort Wayne, number 8, Wadner Joseph. First foul on Joseph.
For Wads, that'll be his first and second team foul. Wadner Joseph looking like a linebacker down on the floor. Joseph, who goes 6'4", 220, definitely gets the most out of his 6'4". Normally plays the 4 next to Antonio Wilson. Big T Wilson on the bench with 2 fouls. With the inbounds pass is going to be number 10, Denzel Smith. Smith from Tarleton State University. He's from Danville, Illinois. Technical foul now. Technical foul called on Smith. That's going to be his third. So that's a free throw and a possession. Antonio Cannon at the free throw line.
That was a technical foul. Shooting at the line for Fort Wayne, Antonio Cannon.
So Cannon, first free throw attempt is good. Antonio entering today shooting 46% from the free throw line, hitting 6 of 13. With the inbound pass, it's going to be Nick Gamble. Gamble played his college ball at Davenport University. They were a mainstay at the NAIA National Tournament. Of course, Davenport now just finished up their first year as NAIA Division or NC2A Division II. Davenport out of the GLIAC. Long three-pointer by Cannon, no good. Rebounded by the big man, Alex Brown. Davis Johnson over the timeline. Feed goes to Worthington. Worthington had just picked up his third foul. Fadeaway jumper is no good. Rebounded by Wadner Joseph. Wilson Thomas over to Cannon. Antonio working off the pick from Beasley, has his shot blocked by number 9, Davis Johnson. A lot of movement here in the stands. Brown. Right-handed hook shot's no good. And looks like Worthington's going to be fouled by Wadner Joseph. Good foul by Joseph as he was not going to let him go up and get the easy bunny. For Wads, that'll be his second.
The foul is on Fort Wayne, number 8, Joseph. His second, team's third. At the line for the goal line is Aaron Worthington.
Worthington heading to the free throw line for the first time in this game on the season. He's hit 8 of 17 free throws, shooting 47% from the charity stripe. Wadner Joseph picking up his second foul of the game. As the first free throw attempt is up and in for Worthington, he's now got 5 points. Illinois currently up 47-36. Second free throw attempt for Worthington. Left rim's no good, rebounded by Cannon. .24-second shot clocks, down to 15 seconds. Gamble driving baseline. Nice find to Joseph. Wilson Thomas, no good on the three-point attempt. Outlet pass, nice snag. Looking like Odell Beckham Jr. there with the big grab. Steal by the Flite. Joseph, strong take, finishes. Foul going to be called on Tiger O'Neal. Joseph, that's his first 2 points of the game.
Foul is on number 8, Tiger O'Neal. The bucket is good. The shooter is Joseph.
Entering today's game, Wadner Joseph, a 25% free throw shooter, hitting 1 of 4 on the early season. Misses on the free throw attempt. Score remains at 47-38.
Foul is on Fort Wayne, number 4, Nick Gamble. First foul on Gamble.
Foul goes against Nick Gamble. That'll be the team's 4th.
The free throw shooter will be Washington.
So Illinois now in the bonus. Washington's first free throw is up and in. His first free throw attempt in this game. Widget Washington entering today an 82% free throw shooter, hitting 9 of 11. Second free throw for Washington is left short, rebounded by Beasley. 10-point advantage for Illinois, up 48-38. They've held the lead all the way throughout. Cannon back by the timeline, working off the pick by Wadner Joseph. Joseph now sinks to the block. Near wing is Gamble. Gamble, right-handed take. Finds Wadner Joseph out of the corner for 3. As Joseph knocks it down to pull his team within 7. Wadner Joseph now with 5 points. We have 1:25 left to play in the second quarter. Washington finds Worthington. Worthington trying to back down Wadner, not an easy task. Gamble with the help defense from the blind side, but getting it in is Davis Johnson. Johnson with his 9th point of the game. Illinois up by 9. 1 minute left to play. Joseph down low, off the mark, rebounded by Johnson. Washington has it taken away. Cannon looking to go coast to coast. Finishes. Antonio Cannon now with 7 points. Flite pulled it within 7, 38 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Worthington on the outside. Tiger O'Neal's three-pointer left short. About a 2-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. A 4-second difference. Terrence Beasley's fouled by number 14, Alex Brown.
That is his 3rd foul. Team's 4th.
So each team now with 4 fouls.
At the line of Fort Wayne. Matt Neville checks in for the Coal Miners. He'll replace Alex
So
Brown.
once again, it's a bonus after 4 team fouls.
Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne going to take the timeout here. Each team with 1 timeout left here in the first half. In the second half, each team gets 3 timeouts, and then in overtime, each team with 1 timeout. A timeout equals 60 seconds. Timeouts called by a coach only. Player called timeouts will be ignored or result in a turnover. Timeouts given during stoppage only. Substitutions will be made on a dead ball. You cannot do substitutions between free throw attempts or after a made field goal in the final 2 minutes, except if the defensive team chooses to make substitutions. Five foul limit for the players. So once again, the Fort Wayne Flite 2-0 in the CBA standings. They're in first place. Illinois with a 1-2 record on the season. The Coal Miners are currently in 6th place in the CBA. Violations will be called after holding the ball with the defender within 3 feet after 5 seconds. You have 8 seconds to get the ball over the timeline here in FIBA rules. 10 seconds left to play before halftime. Cannon finds Beasley. Kick out goes to Gamble for 3. Nick Gamble knocks it down. Huge three-pointer for number 4 as a Flite will go into the break down 50-46. We'll take one more look there at Nick Gamble's three-point attempt. Excuse me, that was earlier in the second quarter. That's Ronald Lucas on the far wing. Lucas that's Cannon up top. Wadner Joseph there looking to set the pick. He rolls down. Lucas, left-handed take, and finishes. What a strong take there by Ronald Lucas, the third. Now we're going to leave it down here for the dance team, providing your halftime entertainment. Welcome back, everyone. Joining me in the booth is the owner of the Illinois Coal Miners, Mr. John Spezia. John, how are you doing today?
Hey, it's been into basketball coming up. This just kind of tops it off with the Final Four and Villanova playing, and of course the state tournament's done. So if you're an addict like we are, it's a fun time.
Absolutely, can never get enough basketball here right on the border of Indiana and Illinois. So you're about an hour away from Indianapolis. Talk about the putting together of the Illinois Coal Miners this year. Entering today, 5 players averaging double-digit scoring, so this team is really able to share the ball well. Yeah,
it's a balanced. Last year, we had Tyron Criswell that led the league in scoring for a while, and then Watson, and it was still pretty fairly balanced, maybe a little bit different. Worthington averaged about 14, 15 points a game, so it was close. This team's probably a little smaller, maybe a little quicker, I would guess. The team last year, the 2 guards were both 6'4", 6'5", which is a little bit different. I don't think we turned the ball over as much as we did last year, but again, that last year team's a pretty good rebound team when a guy like Criswell was your guard and averaged 70 rebounds a game.
Well, now you spent some time over in the Caribbean over the winter. Talk about that experience for you. I believe you're the coach of the national team. Is that in Nevis?
I will be the coach of the Antigua national team starting. Well, actually, I've been there once already to evaluate players, and then I go back again next Saturday for 10 days, myself and Jay Harrington, who's the head basketball coach at Southwestern Community College down in Belleville. Then we really start May 29th, and we play in Suriname the 25th of June. And it's a pool play. Should we advance, the final 2 teams and then go into November and play, which we're looking forward to. I've been in the Caribbean recruiting when I was at Danbury Community College, and I had several Caribbean players from Montserrat, Antigua, in that area that played for us at Danbury Community College. So I'd done many, many clinics and camps. In fact, my wife and I spent 3 months in St. Kitts, not very far from Antigua, in August, September, and October doing player development. And then I went over and saw the 19 under tournament in August. And that's kind of where we made the connections with Antigua. I hadn't been over there. Well, I shouldn't say I hadn't been, but used to go to Antigua and do the camps and clinics too, but the last 10 years has been St. Kitts.
Well, and it looks like the CBA is getting more and more of their players overseas, over in the Caribbean, but it looks like 6 CBA players were taking part in that league.
I got a chance to see them all play and talk to them, and there's a couple on different teams, but they're spread out through the league in Antigua, and it's a pretty decent league. There's several guys in that league that have all that played in the States. Hollywood Matthews played at Iona. The Davis boys all played junior college basketball in the States at really good places. Kid named McCoy played for Indian Hills, which had that streak of 88 games in a row. The junior still holds the record. He plays in that league. So it's a pretty good league from that standpoint. The upper 4 teams are really, really good.
Now, did you guys here in Danville, Illinois, you used to hosting the Junior College National Championship. Did you guys do that again this year?
Yes, we've had it for 25 years. We started that back, I think, 94. I was fortunate enough we won the national championship in 91 up in Delta, Michigan. Then we got 7th, and then we said, you know what? The AD then was retiring up in Delta, and myself and Dick Shockey and a guy named Jack Sistriano got together and said, hey, let's see if we can move this thing to Danville. We'd had a state tournament here, an NJCA state tournament here in Danville, and I said, we're capable of doing something like that. We started out with 8 teams, then it grew to 12, and now it's at 16, and we probably have 100 college scouts that come to our national tournament, and some pro scouts. We've had some NBA scouts show up. I know there's been several times I've sit up in the bleachers with Tom Izzo or Bruce Weber or one of those guys. So it's become a really fixture in Danville and with the NJCA.
Well, John, here in your second season with the coal miners, how do you feel like it's progressing here in the CBA?
Well, you know, I was involved overseas back in 2002 in England, so I kind of caught that bug a little bit. And when we came back, I did some pro tryout stuff with Eurobasket, and of course I've known Benny and his dad for a long time, Benny Lewis, and that's kind of got involved with that. And we did some things out in Vegas and got involved with it. And I called Benny, and we started talking about the CBA, and I always felt what they were doing in the time slot, they're doing it right after basketball is kind of done, so there's still that catch there. When you try to do minor league basketball during the college season, high school season, I think it's just it's a losing proposition. Here, at least, you know, it's a short season, guys get exposed, and you're playing, I think one of the important things, you're playing FIBA rules, playing with 40 minutes, which the guys are, and if you have a 10-man roster, guys are, you know, they can play through that. They're still not in great shape unless they've come right out of college. So it was just a perfect match, and I think, you know, the idea of getting kids overseas, and realistically that's where they're going to go. They're going to go, you know, they're going to go to the BBL, England, or you're going to go to someplace in Europe. It may not be the Euro League, but it'll be a starter form, and that's what's important, to get them started. And, you know, they play 1-2 years, they make some money, maybe they go from there, and you never know what's going to happen. It's very similar for me to what I was at the junior college, where I placed players, you know, I placed 200-some kids over to 4-year colleges, so it was a natural fit for me.
Well, another great crowd here in Danville. John, I really appreciate you joining us.
Well, it's always fun, and Danville's been a pretty good basketball town, and we're fortunate enough to have the support we have. You know, Shep and Tamela Griffin and you know, the referees of all do college basketball, so, you know, they like doing the FIBA stuff. So we've got a pretty good overall fit. Officials, bench help, you know, fan support. It just it makes it fun to come watch these games. Nobody wants to come to a game and there's 5 people there or 10 people there.
Absolutely.
So I'll let you talk to the veteran if you're going to talk to Benny now.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm not quite as old as Benny, so.
Well, John, once again, we appreciate it. Last week, you guys got to honor the state champion, the Lady Schlerman Academy basketball team.
Yeah, that was a good one, and they got a chance. They didn't have any seniors, so they got a chance. They could go back again, you know, depending on what the state does. So, you know, it's quite an honor to anytime you win a state championship or a national championship or whatever. You know, that's a pretty special, because people don't know how much hard work it is just to get in those situations. And, you know, Benny's won 2, and he'll tell you that it's not easy, especially when you know, we're not government funded like the state schools or the private schools.
Right.
So it's a little tougher on us owners.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, John, and good luck the rest of the year.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. That's John Spezia, the owner of the Illinois Coal Miners, and now joining me is going to be the owner of the Fort Wayne Flite. You okay? Benny Lewis. Benny coming off back-to-back CBA championships. Benny, is it getting any easier here now, looking for a three-peat?
No, it's not getting any easier, at all. We have to go on the road as well, and when we go on the road, it's, teams are giving us a hard time and giving, not a nice welcome a lot of times when we come into other places, but it's to be expected. We expect them to play their best basketball, and it's going to be a tough road. But we got a lot of new young talent, and this is their first time experiencing it on the road with us, and so we still got some growing to do. We got some growing to do and got some work to work out and things like that. We got off to a bit of a slow start here today, and the thing about having new players is that they're not familiar with their opponents. I mean, we can tell them a lot about them and everything else, and give them scouting reports, but it's they got to learn to respect the players that we're going up against, and then they may come to our place and we have a big win on them, but when you come home to their place, it's they play a different brand of basketball in front of their own fans, and that's what we finding out like right now.
Well, and to be the best, you got to beat the best, and everybody's going to put their best foot forward to knock down the Flite. This is the second time around as a 40-point victory in game number 1 of the season, and that was at your place at the Horizon Christian Academy. What have you seen differently from the Illinois Coal Miner here today?
Well, one, they're making shots. 2, their rotation has been really, really good. They got a couple of additional people to their roster that didn't come up to Fort Wayne, and we're just 3 or 4. We're 3 weeks in now, and being 3 weeks in, they get to know each other a little bit better, and they've had a couple of practices under their belt, and they getting things down, and we see them again in a week, so it doesn't get any easier, and so we're sort of feeling each other out there, showing us some different things that they didn't do last time. But we've been watching on Summit City Sports and the broadcast and everything else, and just they had a really good game last week against Indianapolis, and they've been putting up some points. I mean, they're averaging over 100 points a game. So we held them to 87 in our game, but since then, they've been well into the 100 points a game. So they got some scorers on their team, and we have to respect that. We have no easy games. We got that target on our backs, and we're expecting we're expecting teams to bring their best when they come against us.
Well, and your coach is Rod Wilmot. He's the only coach you've ever had here at the Fort Wayne Flite.
Right.
Rod had a head coaching job at a high school in Indiana, and now he's coaching college ball as an assistant at Manchester. How have you seen kind of Coach Wilmot's maturation process?
Well, every time he has an opportunity to get out there and coach, right, get on the sideline and work with players, you when you're teaching, everybody's learning. You're learning things about yourself. There's learning as well, and he's doing a great job at it. He's winning, and he goes into the college level, and he picks up another avenue of the game, recruiting and being able to manage players, those types of things. So it's a process that he's going through. He's had success at every level. He coaches AAU basketball. He's always involved and constantly learning. He's going to land that job sooner or later. He's going to land that good head coaching job in college, or even possibly on the pro level, in the NBA, or even in the G League. So
in the G League, he's got a lot of experience as a player.
He does. I mean, he sort of cut his teeth in the being a trainer and working with players and working with players with the Mad Ants. You know, so it's just a natural progression for him all the way around. We hope that in the future that's exactly where he'll end up being. So.
Well, the Fort Wayne Flite going to start off the third quarter here with the ball. Benny, we appreciate you joining us. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, appreciate it.
And a safe travels home to you.
Same to you. Right.
That's Benny Lewis, the owner of the Fort Wayne Flite. Back-to-back CBA championships for Benny and the team in orange. Like he said, when you're the best, you're always going to have a target on your back. The guys really can never take a moment's break, as we've kind of noticed in this game here. Flite went down early, and they've been battling to try to regain the lead. They're down by 4 points now, but spent a majority of the first half down by 10. Leading scorer for the Flite in the first half was Antonio Cannon with 7 points. Ronald Lucas has 6, and Elijah Wilson-Thomas, one of those new young players that Benny was talking about, has 6 points as well. Leading all scorers was Davis Johnson with 9 points. His possession will stay with the Flite. Possession arrow now with Coal Miners. With the inbounds pass will be Antonio Cannon, 23 seconds on the shot clock. Goes up to Big T Wilson. Lucas over to Cannon. Cannon backing down Washington. Goes up with the right hand, looking for the foul, none to be called. Outlet pass goes up to Worthington. Up against Big T Wilson, gets the floater to fall. So Worthington, who had 5 points in the first half, picks up the first 2 points of the second half. He's got 7 in this game. 52-46. As, wow, Beasley. That was like a line drive shot. 52-48 for Terrence Beasley. He now has 7 points in this one. He thought that one was going to be off the front of the rim and attacked it like he was looking for the offensive board. Terrence Beasley, a great player here with the Flite. Been with them, grabbing the defensive rebound. Beasley been with the Flite from the get-go. As Cannon gets fouled from behind, that's going to go against Tiger O'Neal. O'Neal, that'll be his first. Excuse me, for O'Neal, that's his second. That'll be the first team foul for the Coal Miners. 52-48 is your score. The timeouts reset after the first half. Each team with 3 timeouts here in the second half. Cannon looking for the lob to Big T Wilson. Good defense, though, by number 9, Davis Johnson. Johnson on Antonio, right-handed hook shot. That is Antonio Wilson's shot right there. His first 2 points of the game. That'll pull Fort Wayne to within 2. See if the Flite can't take over the lead and make a little bit of a run here in the third quarter. Foul's going to go against Terrence Beasley with the arm bar. For Beasley, that'll be his second. Team's first.
Second foul on Beasley.
With the inbound pass, that's number 7, Delando Carter. Joseph with the rebound. Wads finds Antonio Cannon. Cannon nearly had it swiped away. Good job of getting Worthington up in the air. Cannon's first 2 points in the second half. He now has 9. We are tied at 52. That one's going to rim out as Beasley chases down the loose ball. Possession to stay with the Coal Miners. Had a chance to speak with both team owners at halftime. It was John Spezia of the Illinois Coal Miners. Spends a lot of time in the Caribbean there in the winter. Not a bad time to be over there on the islands. Worthington nearly came up with the board as the floater is good by Carter. Carter now has 4 points. Illinois takes back the lead. Lucas, Trevor Lucas, Scored 2 points there in the first half for the Flite. Takes a handoff from Wander Joseph. Left hand dribble drive, goes up with the left hand, finishes. We're back to being tied. Lucas with 4 points. Widget Washington. Washington with 5 first half points. Picks up his dribble, finds Washington. Or excuse me, Worthington. Worthington going to be fouled as the bucket is no good. He'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2. Foul goes against number 10, Trevor Lucas.
Number 10, Trevor Lucas, is 7. Team 7 and a pair of free throws.
Worthington was 1 of 2 from the free throw line in the first half. Entering today's game, a 47% free throw shooter. First one is up and in. Give Illinois back the lead at 55-54. Worthington with 8 points. Second one's no good. Big T Wilson with the rebound. 55-54. The Flite could take the lead. As we got a foul. Is this going to go against Worthington? Nope, it goes against Widget Washington. So for Washington, that'll be his second. Aaron Worthington's currently got 3 fouls. Denzel Smith with 3 as well. 6:49 left to play here in the third quarter. 55-54 is your score. Cannon having no problem backing down Washington. Joseph, contact in the lane, no good. Tip out intended for Washington was picked up by Joseph. Now we're going the other direction with the coal miners. 3-point attempt off the side of the rim. That was Delando Carter. Trevor Lucas pushing it for the Flite. Over to Antonio Wilson with the lay-in. Flite take the lead at 56-55. Antonio Wilson now with 4 points. Flite, a little bit of energy here on the bench as they take over the lead. 5:58 left to play in the third. Worthington, good defense being played by Fort Wayne as that's a shot clock violation. Turnover for Aaron Worthington and the coal miners. Great game being played here between Illinois and Fort Wayne. The coal miners are the 3rd team out of Illinois to play in the CBA. There was the Peoria Panthers and the Springfield Sentinels. Springfield, Missouri, the capital of Illinois, just about 2 hours away from Danville, west of Danville. Antonio Cannon and the Flite have the 56-55 lead. 5:39 left to play in the third quarter. 3-point attempt. Left rim's no good. That was rebounded by Davis Johnson. Washington bringing it up. Widget Washington averaging 19 points per game. Worthington at 17 points per game. And Neville at 15 points per game. Just inside the arc. Jumper's no good. Rebounded by Antonio Wilson. Cannon gets it over to Lucas, finds a wide open Widener Joseph for 3, no good. Johnson with the rebound. That was a good save by Denzel Smith, but gets it right to Trevor Lucas. Lucas lost his footing. Cannon for 3. Big 3-pointer there by Cannon. He now has 12 points, which is a game high. Flite up 59-55, the largest lead of the game. Outlet pass to Widener Joseph, 1-on-2 as a block from behind, but possession will stay with the Flite. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Checking in for Fort Wayne is Elijah Wilson Thomas. Checking in for Illinois is Matt Neville. Wilson picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. Did not play much in the first half. Big T has 4 points for the Flite. Beasley. Back out to Cannon. Long three-pointer by Antonio Cannon. He's looking for the fouls. He was slapped on the right arm is what he was saying. Four minutes left to play here in the third quarter, 59-55. Turnover by the Coal Miners. That was the story of the first quarter for the Flite, was turning the ball over. It's been the story in the third quarter here for Illinois with the turnovers. Lucas pulling up inside the arc. Bucket's good for Trevor Lucas. He has 6 points. 61-55 is your score. Fort Wayne Flite. Widget Washington being guarded by Cannon. Lob pass goes into Worthington. Nice cut by Denzel Smith. He's fouled. We'll look for the and one. Smith now with 7 points. This will be Denzel's first free throw of the game. Entering today, 8 of 13 from the charity stripe, shooting 62%. Foul's going to be called on Lucas. That'll be his third.
At the line, Denzel Smith.
And technical foul going to be called against Fort Wayne. It's going to go on the coach, Rod Wilmot.
Fort Wayne bench.
So there'll be one free throw and a possession for Illinois. And Worthington still has to get his free throw in, looking for the and one. No, excuse me. Denzel Smith. So the technical free throw is good. Well, that might have been the and one free throw. Here's the technical free throw. Good. Now Illinois will get possession. That's exactly what the Coal Miners needed. Now down by 2, 61-59. Possession arrow in favor of the Coal Miners. Neville takes it right at the timeline. Lucas with the defense. Neville behind the back, switches to the left. Nice feed down low. Johnson cannot finish with the bunny. Gets his own rebound. Splits defender. Davis Johnson now with 11 points. We're back to being tied at 61. Now a steal by the Coal Miners. Lay-in is good. Coal Miners take back the lead at 63-61. Widget Washington now with 7 points. Wide open. Thomas, three-pointer. And Big T Wilson with the rebound. Good kick out to Wilson Thomas. Trevor Lucas. Thomas switches to the left. No foul called off the contact. Neville comes up with the rebound. Near carry there by number 1. Chucks it up from inside the arc. And foul going to be called on the floor. Goes against Beasley. That'll be his third. So for the Flite, their 4th team foul, that'll put Illinois in the bonus. My name's Jeff Mahoney, bringing you the play-by-play. On camera is Jen McCall. Her first game with the Central Basketball Association. I have a few games under my belt here in the CBA. Checking in from Fort Wayne will be number 2, Lance Williams Jr. Trevor Lucas going to take a breather. Neville now with the inbounds pass. Neville entering today shooting 47% from the field. Has not played a whole lot in this one. Right-handed hook shot on the fall away, no good by Alex Brown. 2:17 left to play. Cannon rises up for 3. Huge three-pointer by Antonio Cannon, the second three-pointer of the second half for Cannon. He now has 15 points. Loose ball, Neville's got it at the timeline, has it stolen by Williams Jr. They're going to call a foul on number 2. Lance Williams picks up his second foul, team's 5th. Neville, perfect 4-4 from the free throw line entering today's game. Not the guy you want at the charity stripe. First free throw by Neville rims in. It's now a perfect 5 of 5 on the season. More importantly, his team just tied it up at 64. Second free throw attempt. That one rattles out. Rebounded by Beasley. We're tied at 64 inside 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Cannon on the far wing being guarded by Neville. Cannon rises up looking for his third three-pointer and drains it. Antonio Cannon. Right over Neville. Cannon's last 3 buckets have all been triples. Ending the drought there is Denzel Smith. He's got 6 points here in the third quarter, 12 in the game. Illinois pulls to within 1, down 67-66. Cannon just lost the dribble, and oh no, Denzel Smith's going to pick up his 4th foul going after the loose ball. He's going to head to the bench.
Number 10, Denzel Smith.
Coming back into the game is going to be Aaron Worthington, along with number 11, Kendall Davis.
Number 2, Aaron Worthington, and number 11, Kendall Davis. Also checking in.
Illinois once again playing without Tyron Criswell this year. Last year, easily one of the top players in the Central Basketball Association. Nice left-handed take by Wilson Thomas, his 8th point of the game. Outstanding. Flite extend their lead to 3, 69-66, 57 seconds left to play in the third. Worthington could not finish as he was double teamed on the block. Good Euro step. Beasley picking up the loose ball. Ooh, had it swatted from behind. Wilson Thomas and Beasley's down on the floor. Referee going to call a timeout here in the third quarter with 40.2 seconds remaining. First CBA season was back in 2013. There were 4 teams: Bowling Green, Middle Tennessee, Peoria, and St. Louis. St. Louis was your regular season champs and the league champions. Bowling Green was the league runner-up, and Floyd Irons was the coach of the year. DeMarco Polk was the most valuable player. Then in 2014, Antonio Cannon was the most valuable player. Coach of the year was Rodney English from Chattanooga. There were 7 teams. Chattanooga, your regular season champions. But the league champions was the Middle Tennessee Storm. 2015, Bowling Green won it with Mark Dracus Wade from Mississippi. Now the Jackson Eagles being the most valuable player. Mark Dracus Wade was in the G League. Another three-pointer by Antonio Cannon. He's on fire. 72-66 behind the sharp shooting Antonio Cannon. Nice strong take by Alex Brown. He has 5 points in this game. That'll pull the Coal Miners to within 4 as Big T Wilson's on the floor for the Fort Wayne Flite. Fort Wayne owning the second half here. They were down 46-50 at halftime. stoppage in the action there as Antonio Wilson's being attended to by the athletic trainer. Not sure if Wilson hit that stage. Boy, that stage is about 3 or 4 feet away from the baseline.
Replacing Wilson at the four-way lineup, number 8.
Once again, the coal miners will host the Indianapolis Blaze next Friday. That's a 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. While the Fort Wayne Flite will host these coal miners next Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I guess it's Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Which means we'll have the sun till about 10:30 at night. The end of June, early July. 10 seconds left to play. 72-68 is your score. That's Antonio Cannon. One more. Why not? For Antonio Cannon. His 5th three-pointer of the 3rd quarter. Marcus Myers, that's no good. We'll head into the 4th quarter. Fort Wayne up 75-68. Here from Danville, Illinois.
Birthing centers with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website, SummitCitySports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SummitCitySports.com.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview.
Welcome back, everybody. Danville, Illinois. The Illinois Coal Miners versus the Fort Wayne Flite. Flite 2-0 on the season. First place team in the Central Basketball Association. The lob to Kendon Lewis off glass. Fort Wayne now up by 9 points. The Flite was down 50-46 at halftime and spent the majority of the 2nd quarter down by 10 points. Left-hand take is good by Delando Carter. Carter now with 6 points in this game. For Kendon Lewis, he also has 6 points. For Kendon, that was his first bucket of the 2nd half. 77-70, 9:15 left to play. We are 1 hour and 26 minutes into this game. Once again, John Spezia, the owner of the Illinois Coal Miners, does such a great job getting the stands full here. As a steal by the Coal Miners results easy lay-in for Kyger O'Neal, his 8th point of the game. Coal Miners only down by 5 now to the 2-time defending CBA champion Fort Wayne Flite. Fans in the stands Looking for a traveling call. But the foul goes against Worthington. Just his third foul. .8:52 left to play. Cannon working against Worthington. Over to Joseph, out of the corner, 4-3. Watts left that one just a bit short. That was rebounded by Davis Johnson. Washington over the timeline. Widget currently with 8 points as Johnson's hook shot's no good. Cannon comes out with it. Three-point attempt is good for number 7, Elijah Wilson Thomas. He now has 11. 80-72 is your score. Washington with the yellow sneaks on the outside. The inside are orange. Looked like a travel there as the three-point attempt off the heel, no good. Rebounded by Wadner Joseph. Joseph's pass is intercepted by Washington over the Worthington. Now the trailer, and fouled is Davis Johnson. He's gonna foul goes against Eeks. Number 8, Wadner Joseph. His third. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining here in the third, or fourth quarter, excuse me, as that first free throw attempt is no good by Davis. Johnson entering today a 67% free throw shooter, hitting 6 of 9 free throws on the young season. Second one off the heel, no good. Putback is no good, but the second putback is. Strong play by Aaron Worthington. We'll head to the free throw line looking for the and one. Take one more look. Free throw attempt was missed. Worthington, putback no good. Second one is. Aaron Worthington, the truth here in Danville. Free throw attempts no good. 80-74, the score remains. Nice rebound by Antonio Cannon. Cannon had 10 rebounds in the last game against Baltimore. He also had 6 assists to go along with his 20 some odd points. Cannon actually had 16 points. Jump ball going to be called. Possession arrow in favor of Flite.
Checking in for four-way, number 5, Lucas, number 11, Beasley.
Beasley checking in for Kendon Lewis.
Sitting down,
Ronald Lucas back into the game, number 5. Possession arrow back to the coal miners. Three-pointer, halfway down, no good. Rebounded by Beasley. Lucas looking to push it up to Joseph. Wadner one-on-one, finishes through the contact of Davis Johnson. Wadner's first bucket of the second half. Foul going to be called on Ronald Lucas, as heading to the free throw line will be Tiger O'Neal. O'Neal currently with 8 points. He is 1 of 2 from the free throw line in this game. 82-74 your score. Once again, O'Neal entering today's game, a 67% free throw shooter. Hits the first. Second attempt, good as well. Flite currently up by 6 points, 82-76. Williams switches to the left. Off contact, finishes off glass. Lance Williams now with 5 points. That'll extend the Flite lead to 8 points. Washington back over to Worthington. Out of the corner, triple try by O'Neal, rims in. O'Neal, that's his third three-pointer of this game, pulls his team to within 5. Worthington with the steal. Finds Washington, back to Worthington. Beautiful looking play for the coal miners. Illinois now only down by 3 points. Strong take, Ronald Lucas goes up with the left. Lucas now with 8 points, his first 2 points of the second half. 86-81, Washington rises up. Air ball attempt to the right side. Williams with the board. Down low, Terrence Beasley all alone. 88-81. For Beasley, that's his 9th point of the game. Davis. Johnson goes up top. 1 second on the shot clock. Washington no good. Rebounded by Joseph. Antonio Wilson making his way back to the bench here after being treated in the athletic training room. Worthington with the rebound. Foul's going to be called on Wadner Joseph.
Foul was on number 8, Wadner Joseph. 4th foul on Joseph.
Wadner Joseph, arguably the largest traps in the CBA.
In for the Bulldogs, Alex Brown, number 14.
Wadner's out of Miami, Florida.
Antonio Wilson, number 12.
88-81. Antonio Wilson going to get back on the floor as a timeout taken by the coal miners. They got 2 left here in the second half. Fort Wayne currently with 3 timeouts left. Looking at the leading scorers so far, Tiger O'Neal has 13 points for Illinois. Aaron Worthington, who had 5 points at the half, has 12 points now for the coal miners. And Denzel Smith has 12 points for the coal miners as well. But this game's all about Antonio Cannon. Antonio Cannon with a game-high 24 points, and he has not scored in the fourth quarter. We have 4:30 left to play in the fourth. Cannon's been on the bench with a breather, him and Big T Wilson. The 2 tones, Big Tone and Little Tone. Even though Antonio Cannon listed at 5'11", 190. Man, one of the most athletic basketball players I've ever seen. Always fun to watch. He'll throw alley-oops to himself during the game, throwing it down. His first year in the CBA, 2014, was spectacular, but he's really got an all-around game now, as Antonio Cannon entered today averaging 4 assists per game and 6.5 rebounds per game to go along with his 20 points per game. Turnover by the coal miners. It's been a turnover-filled second half for Illinois. That being said, they're still only down by 7, but did hold a 4-point halftime lead. Beasley, no good. Johnson with the rebound, looking to go coast to coast with it. He will, up with the left hand. And looking for the putback slam was Brown. Pass intercepted by Lucas. Nice bounce pass to Trevor Lucas. And Layens no good. Neville with the rebound. Washington working against Wadner Joseph. Left hand dribble drive. Down low for the two-hand slam. Coal Miners only down by 5. Alex Brown, that's his 7th point of the game. Had 3 in the first half, has 4 in the second half. Listed at 7 foot is Alex Brown. Ronald Lucas draws contact once again. He's got 10 points. 90-83 inside 3 minutes to play. Rising up for Tiger O'Neal. For Tiger, that's his 16th point of the game. He's been in fuego from beyond the arc. Neville nearly came up the steal. Brown gets it up to Neville. 3-point attempt. Off the heel, no good. Lucas with the rebound. 4-point advantage here for the Flite. 2:26 left to play. Trevor Lucas finishes and he'll head to the free throw line looking for the and one. Trevor Lucas, that's his 8th point of the game.
Basket is good.
So how about it? On the other end, that was Alex Brown. As we'll go ahead and see Trevor Lucas shoot this free throw, and it's good.
The first foul on Johnson.
Last foul is called on Davis Johnson. That's his first. Can we get a look at the putback slam? Two-handed by Alex Brown. There he goes on the block, throwing it down with the two-hand flush. Was pretty. Washington gonna bring it up for these Coal Miners. Coal Miners are down by 7 points, 93-86. Lots of sponsors here for the Coal Miners. Doing a great job as Denzel Smith knocks down the long jumper. That'll pull his team to within 5. Inside 2 minutes to play. Big T Wilson has it blocked by Aaron Worthington. Rising up for 3, that was left short by Tiger O'Neal. Washington now by the half-court stripe. Washington being guarded by Wadner Joseph. Scoop shot is good. That'll pull Illinois to within 3. For Washington, he's got 9 points now in this game. Cannon working off the pick by Antonio Wilson. Wilson over to Joseph. Wadner wide open for 3, and it's good. That extends the lead to 6 points. Wadner just hit double-digit scoring. He's got 10. Denzel, the triple is good. That'll pull Illinois to within 3. Denzel Smith now has 17 points for the Coal Miners. 50 seconds left to play. 96-93 is your score. That's Antonio Cannon by the timeline. Antonio, 2 steps in the lane. He's fouled. He'll head to the free throw line. That's just the 3rd team foul here for the Coal Miners. It's called on Widget Washington. That's his 3rd.
Team's 3rd. At the line for
Tone at the free throw line.
Antonio Cannon.
That's Antonio Cannon. They call him Little Tone. But his game is supersized. Cannon in this game is a perfect 1 of 1 from the free throw line. First one is good for Antonio Cannon. That's his 25th point of the game. Cannon, his 25th point is a season high. He had 24 points in the first game against Illinois. Ended up with 16 points last week against Baltimore. Antonio now a perfect 3 of 3 from the free throw line. 26 points. Fort Wayne up 98-93. We had a timeout called. That's a full timeout, a 60-second called for by the Flite. Each team now with 2 timeouts left. So once again, 2015 Bowling Green won the CBA championship. Fort Wayne winning it in 2016. And then the Flite beating Indianapolis for the 2017 CBA championship. In 2016, Fort Wayne beat Middle Tennessee. Of course, Middle Tennessee out of Nashville. Many players, CBA players, signed overseas. The latest is Greg Foster, who played for the Fort Wayne Flite. He now plays in Saudi Arabia. Quincy Skates is playing in El Salvador. But go to playCBA.com, scroll down to the bottom of the home page, and you can find out where all the CBA players have played overseas. So far in the CBA, there have been 537 NC2A players. 201 players have been sent overseas. Here in the CBA, the inaugural season was back in 2013 with the St. Louis Hawks winning it. We missed the St. Louis Hawks. Where are they at? Washington, three-pointer's no good. Rebounded by Widener, but it goes off Joseph. Last touch by Davis Johnson, so possession will stay with the Fort Wayne Fly. 98-93, 27.9 seconds remains. Joseph, bounce pass goes to Gamble. Gamble, nice find down low to Lucas. Putback is good by Antonio Wilson as the Flite hit the century mark. Putback is good by Washington. Washington is 14th point of the game. This should do it, as the Fort Wayne Flite will improve their record to 3-0 on the CBA season. Fort Wayne wins it 100-95. We're going to take a little bit of a commercial break here, 1 minute. We'll be right back with you for the final scoring.
Beautiful baby, you're sweeter than strawberry pie. Just like the morning, your smile brings the sunshine.
The Parkview Family Birthing Centers, with everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone, or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, one website, summitcitysports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and summitcitysports.com.
And we have a final here from Danville. It's the Flite winning it 100-95 over the Coal Miners. Looking at the scoring for Illinois, Matt Neville with 7 points, Aaron Worthington with 14, Widget Washington with 9 points, Marcus Myers with 3. Delando Carter had 6. Tiger O'Neal, who was hot from beyond the arc, had 16 points. Davis Johnson with 11. Denzel Smith with 17. Kendall Davis with 5. And Alex Brown with 7 points as the Illinois Coal Miners put up 95 points in the game versus the Flite. Antonio Cannon led all scorers with 26 points. He's your playCBA.com player of the game. Antonio Cannon hit 5 3-pointers in the third quarter. He had 17 points in the third quarter alone. Lance Williams finished with 5 points. Kendon Lewis with 6. Nick Gamble with 3. Ronald Lucas with 10. Elijah Wilson Thomas had 11 points. Wadner Joseph with 10. Trevor Lucas with 9. Terrence Beasley with 9. And Big T Antonio Wilson had 6 points for the Fort Wayne Flite, who once again win it 100-95. The Flite will improve their record to 3-0 and remain in first place in the CBA, as Illinois will fall to 1-3 on the season. Well, on behalf of our camera person, Jen McFall, my name is Jeff Mahoney. Thanks so much for joining us from Danville, Illinois. You're watching playCBA.com basketball.